The Hunter exam is amazing. It's a statement that I come to every time I reread or rewatch Hunter x Hunter. For an introduction arc into the story, it's one of my favorite, and it started my overall interest for the story. The world is massive both in size and lore. The infinite potential of the story can be seen in each of its unique arcs. Every arc has its own unique charm, whether it be a thriller, high constant action, or an arc that questions humanity's own ideals. The story of Hunter x Hunter is extremely flexible with a plethora of ideas, to which, when brought to light, are unique and genius, giving the story an unpredictable feel to it, giving more interest to readers. My purpose for this video is to review or analyze every arc in the story. I also want to find Togashi's intention behind these arcs as well. The way this story is written, even simple arcs have an underlying meaning. My prime example would be the very first arc, the Hunter exam. The Hunter exam has an influence in every arc with its core, theme, and characters. The characters change in this arc is amazing. I want to talk about the importance and still relevant to current arcs. I feel like the most first arcs in media are usually overshadowed by later more intricate arcs. However, some media, for example like Bleach and Hunter x Hunter, have amazing beginning arcs. I feel like a good place to analyze the Hunter exam is to analyze the creation of Hunter x Hunter. Yoshihiro Togashi, the author of Hunter x Hunter, began the story nearly 26 years ago in 1998 when Hunter x Hunter's first chapter was released in Weekly Shonen Jump. In his previous work from 1990, Yu Yu Hakusho had abruptly ended due to issues with the magazine hassling and Togashi's health. This led to his other series, Level E, which ran from 1995 to 1997. From this point, birthed his most successful work, Hunter x Hunter. The Hunter exam is the first of 9 arcs in the story of Hunter x Hunter. This is where it all begins, is Gon's departure from the secluded Whale Island to the real untamed world to become a hunter. The day of departure. The very first page of the manga sets up this mystic fantasy vibe to the world. The world is adventurous, catering to the overall idea of Hunter x Hunter pursuit. They go on to introduce the primary force in this world called hunters. Hunters in the world building sense, people who are always on the hunt for something. The idea of exploring the unknown, seeking desire. The next page we see Gon fishing for what appears for a long time. Birds seem to have rested on his head. He remains still waiting to catch his prey. Master of the swamp, the locals call it. Gon rushes over to his aunt Mito, a woman who has been taking care of Gon. We learned that in order for Gon to take the exam, he would have to catch this beast that even 5 men couldn't catch. Those sorts of mini stipulations in order to achieve something greater are extremely common in Hunter x Hunter, a means of certification to do something. Gon runs to submit his application, where he meets a fox bear. The fox bear is Gon's childhood friend. 3 years ago, wandering the forest, is met with a fox bear in danger of his life, until Kite, the hunter, shows up to save him. Kite scolds the young Gon. He's enraged and asks him if his parents have taught this. However, Gon has no parents to his knowledge. The fox bear is enraged. Kite makes the decision to put down the fox bear. He claims it's meaningless to save the cub. It will starve, and even if it makes it alive, it will make a vow to revenge on the one who took its mother, humans. However, Gon says he will take care of the fox bear. Gon will take on the fox bear anger towards humans and try to help it. Could the fox bear really forgive humans for taking away his parent? The parallel mirrors that one in the Chimera Ant arc, whereas Gon is put in the fox bear's position. Both lose a respective parent in their own way. Gon and the fox bear let frantic anger towards their respective attackers. Could Gon really forgive the ants for killing Kite? Kite realized Gon is Jing's son, which he came to Whale Island to find more about Jing. Kite mentions that his father is still alive and is a hunter, one of the greatest. This becomes his main fuel for becoming a hunter. This gives Gon something of a light, something bigger than Whale Island to look forward to. These high expectations of a stranger he's never met. Somebody so great was his dad, but what was the reason he left? Was it for something so amazing, even more important than Gon himself? Gon says goodbye to the fox bear because hunters must be feared by animals. Mito asks Gon if he knows what his father does and that he left when he was an infant. Being a hunter must be really important, so important to abandon his son. These thoughts from Gon speak loudly as he holds Jing in the highest position of respect and honor. He wants to live up to the expectation of his dad that left him. He wants to meet him. It's then explained that Jing did not abandon him. It was Aunt Mito who told Jing to let Gon stay with him, giving a whole different perspective on Jing. Gon gets on the boat towards the exam. This is the start of the journey. Gon departs from the small, secluded place to the unknown. We hop on board the boat where Gon is helping the examinees. We even see familiar faces. Gon faces the ocean and the captain sees a resemblance of Jing and Gon. Gon tells him his father is a hunter. Rapid water closes in and the contestants have the option to lead the ship. This leaves the boat with a few contestants. It is here we are introduced to Kurapika and Leodio. The captain asks why they would want to be a hunter. Kurapika being the more closed-off, serious character, while Leodio is the opposite. Leodio is quick to blow a fuse and let his emotions get the better of him sometimes. When not saying why, the captain gives an explanation that the hunter exam has already begun. Kurapika is a member of the Kurta clan. He wants to get back his clan's eyes and get revenge on the Phantom Troop, an A-list group of criminals. He is not afraid of death. His only fear is that anger will leave him. Out of all the protagonists, he seems the most determined about his goal, even withdrawing his own life. Even now in the story, it's still going towards that goal. Leodio's cause is simple, which is for money. I really like the idea of making characters with basic motivations but hitting goals. Kurapika and Leodio get into a fight. The captain tries to break it up, but Gon says if you want to find out something about a person, learn what makes them angry. Finding out what upsets a person gets you that much closer to them. While fighting due to the rough storm, a man is thrown overboard. Quick thinking, Leodio and Kurapika attempt to save him, while John jumps off the ship to save the man. Kurapika and Leodio grab Gon. He is scolded because if Leodio and Kurapika weren't there, he would have died. But he replies that they did save him, so it did not matter. This shows early evidence of Gon acting rashly on an outcome that he wants. He is extremely stubborn. Gon only sees one outcome, and that is the outcome that he desires. He is truly a kid at heart. They reach Port Dole to go to Zaban City, where the exam is located. Gon goes a long way to the mountain, taking the captain's advice. Kurapika is influenced by Gon and decided to follow him. Gon and Kurapika are extremely similar. So much so, in Volume 0, Kurapika is the direct mirror to Gon. Two young boys who want to leave the seclusion to explore the outside world. They are also both given tests to go to set outside. Gon test is to catch the master of the swamp, while Kurapika takes the exit test. The similarities are endless. I think that Kurapika sees his old self in Gon, even in these early chapters. Leodio follows suit after hearing the misdirection on the bus. They then reach the two-choice quiz, an impossible quiz where bandits kidnap both your mother and your loved one, and you can only say one. Leodio in a rage explains that there is no right answer to this question. Kurapika knows the answer. Then a new question is asked. Which one will you save, your daughter or your son? Leodio attacks the woman while Gon remains silent. Kurapika blocks Leodio. The right answer was to be silent. Gon sighs and says he can't come up with an answer. However, the test is already over. Neither one is the correct answer, but there might be a day when one must make a decision. Reality has the tendency to turn ruthless in a heartbeat. They make it to the top of the mountain where they see magical beasts that took hostage of a girl. Gon and Kurapika chase after the beast. Gon's eyesight allowed him to see where they are going. Leodio stays back to provide medical assistance to the injured man. Gon lands an attack on the beast, while Kurapika rescues the girl. Leodio comes to Kurapika, but he notices he is a fake because he just left the injured man. Kurapika questions the identity of the hostage. On the other hand, Gon questions the identity of the other magical beast. Turns out there were 4 magical beasts. To figure out the couple weren't married, and Leodio applied medical assistance to the injured. They all helped in their own ways. This is our last kind of sidetrack or detour before the actual exam. They arrive at Zaban City with the help of Kiriko, the magical beast. They make it to the hunter exam, and this is where the real exam actually begins. Kurapika and Leodio explain to Gon the importance of being a hunter, expressing their different motivations and jobs as well. Going down the elevator, the doors open. One of my favorite panels in the story is where all the participants are staring menacingly at them. This change of atmosphere is made apparent in the last parts of the exam, pale in comparison. These people are the most driven to achieve hunter status. Each is a master in their own right. Here we get introduced to Tompa, the rookie crusher, and the other participants. Then we get introduced to one of, if not the most important character in this art, Hisoka. Hisoka is the antagonistic force in this art, but he is no simple villain. Hisoka is a complex character that really only cares about his desires and how to satisfy them. He could play any role in the story, rival, villain, or even an ally. We learned that in the last year's exam, he almost even killed an examiner. His hunter number 44 is also tied with bad luck, with 4 in Japanese meaning she or death. Even his number in the troop is also 4. Also shows that people like him could become a hunter if you pass. Which goes to the point that hunters aren't necessarily good people. They are just people who are in pursuit of certain things for their own sake. Gon is in the pursuit of his dad. Kurapika, however, is in pursuit of his dead clan's eyes and revenge. Leorio is in pursuit of wealth. Hisoka's goals and desires of finding worthy opponents are not much different from other hunters. But what lie differs in their innate motivations toward a hunter license. We get introduced to more characters to number 99, Killua. The first part of the hunter exam is a steady pacing test through an unknown amount of meters. Leorio sees Killua on a skateboard and gets angry. Killua notices Gon and asks him his age. Realizing they were the same age, he kicks up the skateboard and runs with him. I really like this part of the story because there is no grand meaning of these two. It's really natural and you expect like kids to meet through similarities. Kurapika explains why his clan was massacred for scarlet eyes. He said he still hears the pupils crying out to avenge them. Kurapika even sacrificed his pride to become a blacklist hunter, all for the sake of his clan. Here we see Leorio's true reason for becoming a hunter, which is to become a doctor. His friend has died from a curable disease. The only issue was that he needed large amounts of money. He thought that if he had become a doctor, he would cure kids with the same disease and tell their parents it was free of charge. That was his dream. Leorio's place in the story may be ordinary even now, but that ordinary was much needed in a world filled with assassin kids and homicidal clowns. Leorio is like relief on the cast, with a lot of tension. For example, in the chairman election arc, he played a pivotal role, going so far to help Gon. He ran for chairman. He's the much needed humanity aspect in Hunter x Hunter. He reminds me of Knuckle, for example. Kind people with genuine hearts. Killua's interest in the exam is non-existent. He's our first protagonist without any clear pursuit of something, no real desire for anything. But he has some interest in a boy the same age as him taking a dangerous exam. We make it to the end of the tunnel to a prairie. A dude claims that the examiner has been replaced, but before he can do anything, he's killed by Hisoka. This shows kind of the more brutal side of Hunter x Hunter. Sometimes it appears cartoony, and next people's arms are getting ripped off by a clown. This is also where I would assume one of the first uses of Nin. Hisoka uses Shu on the cars to make them stronger. They run through the prairie to try to avoid getting close to Hisoka. Here, we get more insight on the beasts of the world. The fantasy creatures in the world set a tone. Something I also did not mention was the paneling of the pages. Togashi is great at putting characters in focal point, giving a sense of clean motion in these pages. Here we get our first interaction with Hisoka. Hisoka emerges from killing participants. Hisoka is playing the role of examiner for his own benefit, finding new talent to satisfy his fighting desires. He looks for new prey. Kurapika and Leorio and number 76 are left. He's really strong. What should we do? Hisoka completely just walks through every applicant. Hisoka is the power ceiling of his art, using minimum effort to none at all. Hisoka approaches the 3. Kurapika and 76 flee from danger, while Leorio stays. This is his test unbeknownst to them. While Leorio and Hisoka are fighting, Gon intervenes, hitting Hisoka with the fishing rod. This exceeds Hisoka's test. Gon and Leorio pass. His test was to see if they had the guts to run or fight. Hisoka is a peculiar character, acting as a kind of guide for Gon, only for his selfish desire. Hisoka takes the unconscious body of Leorio to the second phase of the exam. Hisoka senses a similar smell with Gon and Leorio while playing the examiner. Kurapika claims that Hisoka thinks that they have too much potential to kill now. Gon feels excitement even though he was knocking at death's door. Gon feels a strange sense of thrill and excitement. Gon is intrigued with something that he's never felt before. For the second phase, we meet 2 gourmet hunters. People who search all kinds of styles of food and cooking. Different type of hunters exist around the world. If there is something that is desired, there is a hunter for it. This part of the exam, they have to satisfy both Buhara and Menchi, the 21-year-old single-star hunter. A single-star hunter is someone who has produced remarkable achievements in a particular field. For the first phase, they have to hunt pigs. In the second one, they have to make sushi from a country called Japan. Everyone is clueless except Hanzo the ninja. They all fail until Menchi is full and no one has passed. The first time, Chairman Netter intervenes and revokes the last part with a new one. Finding a spider eagle egg by jumping into a ravine, grabbing an egg to avoid falling into the water. For me, these mini tests for an exam arc are interesting rather than just fighting. Fights in Hunter x Hunter are extremely calculated and most of the times have a clear victor before the fight even begins. Mirin vs Netero, Cruella vs Soka, Gon vs Soka, Kurapika vs Uvo. Characters are challenged to think outside the box and come up with ways to figure out a solution. On the airship, Gon and Killua speak about their family. Killua opens up about his family being assassins. Gon listens with pure curiosity. He's lived on an island his whole life not knowing anything other than that. Things that would frighten others will only surprise Gon or interest him. To this point, Netero appears behind them. He tells them for a way for them to pass time, they could play a game to touch the ball and they will get their hunter license. Killua uses a deadly technique making after images of himself, only for it to not work in his favor. Gon even tries but fails. We see the skill of rookies to a pro who has not used his right hand or left foot. Netero outspeeds both of them while Killua gives up. We see that there's no point in doing this since they can never touch the ball. Gon makes his own goalpost in which for Netero to use his right hand. If Gon cannot find a suitable way, he will make his own way of winning. Killua finds no point while Gon finds purpose in pointlessness. Killua murders 2 contestants, cutting their bodies apart. Scenes like these feature the total brutality of the hunter world. Killua and many other characters are in this place where their morals are questionable and are not black and white but in between. Gon made Netero use his right hand, which satisfied him. Making a new goal which was possible kept Gon driven not to give up. Netero's purpose for this would be something similar to Soka trying to find an opponent to keep him entertained while on the airship. The next portion of the exam takes place on the tower, reaching on the bottom in 72 hours. They fall through the trapdoors and end up in the same place. Our 4 protagonists are met with Tampa yet again. The tower uses rule of majority and the wristwatches. This way, the choices are unanimous. Then they make it to the prisoner examiners. They play a sort of tournament where time for the inmates or time for Gon teams is rewarded. Tampa resigns and reveals his true nature to them. Someone who doesn't plan on being a hunter, so fixated on destroying other people's dreams. The next match is not a standard 1v1 of strength, but a matter of wits. 2 candles are shown, one longer than the other. Gon chooses the longer one, but the candle quickly dwindles. In his own quick thinking, he speeds past his opponent and blows out the candle. Next we see Kurapika match against a fake Phantom Troop member. In a fit of rage, he completely destroys the fake. Killua approaches Kurapika and asks him if he's scared to kill someone. One who is not scared of death himself questions if he has the heart to kill. Leorio has his match. Betting his points, he then loses. Then we get to see Killua's match against John Jones, a notorious Zaban murderer killing 146 people with his bare hands. Jones is cocky against Killua, but then in the next panel, with no time wasted, Killua rips his heart out his chest. Every onlooker is in distraught or surprised. This almost horror scene being drawn with more tone and emotion. Then the very next scene, you see cartoonish faces. This flip-flop from serious to non-serious is what Hunter x Hunter does best. It flows very natural. They win and wait the remainder of the time. Then they are met with a door to take a long path where all 5 will make it, or a short path that only allows 3 to pass. Gon chooses the 5 way and kicks the wall connecting the second path, allowing them to take the short way. In such a way where there are 2 options, he chose a third. This is what makes Gon special. Onwards to the 4th part of the exam, which is easily my favorite part. 4th phase where applicants take each other's badges. Gon and Killua compares numbers. Gon's number is 44, which is Hisoka. While he's scared, he holds a smile through the danger that awaits him. Gon goes 22nd. Gon now observes Paco against participant 105. He observed how he anticipated the participant dodging the arrow to avoid its vitals while striking him with the poison. The anticipation of how the prey moves, Gon tries to learn this technique in which he can catch his prey, Hisoka. Gon trails Hisoka and initiates a form of Nin called Zetsu. Gon watches Hisoka fight or participate, but Hisoka doesn't fight because the man is injured. While the man charges, somebody kills him. We soon learn that this man is Illumi. He is somewhat of a co-worker to Hisoka or friend. Illumi climbs into the ground while Hisoka looks for new opponents. Hisoka meets Kurapika and Leorio yet again. He initiates another exam in which they both stay to fight. Gon anticipates his interaction with Hisoka and waits. He lets them go, and then a terrifying panel goes on. An expression of pure perversion and malice surrounds Hisoka. He is at his limit. Those last two stirred up his appetite to a new level. Hisoka, as stated before, is a character that acts on pure desire, and that itself is scary. The sinister art is a change of pace. Then the simple, normal art Togashi featured throughout the arc. One of the creepiest moments in the story is when Hisoka is aimlessly wandering, leaking bloodlust. His rampage starts looking for any prey. At this point, it did not even matter. Random his enemy is in Hisoka's sights. He attacks him, but Gon is ready for this moment. Gon successfully takes the tag and runs, but is poisoned by the onlooker. Gon did not anticipate someone hunting him as he hunted someone else. The strategy he had worked on worked against him. His badge is taken, but moments later, Hisoka comes back with the decapitated head of the man. He gives him back his badge that he took. Hisoka tells Gon he earned his badge. He also compliments his setsu technique. Gon's stubbornness takes form. He resists the poison and stands up. He screams for Hisoka to take back the badge. However, he punches him and tells him if he can land a punch on him, he will take it back. Gon sits there in anger and frustration. This starts the Gon-Hisoka rivalry. Gon relocates with Kurapika and Leorio, to which they have to find Leorio's target, Ponzu 246. Gon uses his supernatural sense of smell to track down her scent. They make it to a cave where the scent is located at. Leorio says that if after 30 minutes they don't hear from him, they should just leave, even after receiving all the help from them. He doesn't want them to feel burdened with him. However, Gon and Kurapika sternly reject. Leorio gives up and heads into the cave. Some time passes and screams that they should not enter. They rush into the cave though. Leorio gets stuck in the cave with snakes. He was bitten. Ponzo's sleep gas rendered Bourbon useless, but his trap still remained with the snakes. Bourbon the snake charmer had already passed, so his snakes were just guarding the entrance. Ponzo's bees had killed him in self-defense. Gon quickly finds the antidote on the man, taking all the snakes at once. This was the same because if there was no antidote on him, Leorio would have just died. Gon tells Ponzo to use the sleeping gas on the snakes while holding his breath, and then they make it out. The end of the exam leaves 9 contestants. Onwards to the final exam. Gon confides with Kurapika because he is extremely frustrated. This feeling of inadequacy is a common theme in Gon's character. From the Chimera Ant arc, he feels the inadequacy of helping Kite. His own character is the young boy trying to live up to expectations of his father. Kurapika stated this arc as a closed-off cold character, but to go with Gon, he changes ever so slightly. He learns to depend on one another, and not just himself on a long journey. Kurapika during the York New arc would have probably lost himself in misery if it were for his friends. Everyone in this arc character changed because they're encounters with each other, a positive entity in this gruesome exam. These hunter exams kind of represent a big motif in the story, being to enjoy the detours of the journey. The goal being the hunter's license and the journey being the friends and relationships they had built. To me, the four's relationship was something that helped them even more than becoming a hunter. This introduction are accessible our new view of being both positive and negative points of this world. We as the reader and Gon have never experienced this before. Then the interviews commence, to which Netero comes up with a bracket for the final part of the exam. A tournament. Not just any tournament. A tournament where only declares one loser instead of one winner. The basis on which is where people are ranked how well they did in the exam. Meaning Gon and Hanzo did the best. The 3 basic categories being physical strength, mental capacity, and overall impression. Overall impression meaning something you can't see, something like your desire for hunting and resolve. Gon developed new techniques for hunting. He thought out of the box ways to get out of situations. The audio lasts maybe because of lack of strength and lack of mental capacity and creativity. Exam is more of a test of determination and desire. People who want something extremely bad will do anything for that goal. Hunter exam is for those people who wish for something beyond that reach. It is true test of character. The constant pursuit or desire of something is everything. Every character has a deep attachment to something. Even the power system is around one's will and desires. Kill will question himself and what he lacks that put Gon ahead of him. Is his potential better than mine? We see him compare himself to Gon. He wonders what he lacks. He lacks desire and resolve for pursuit. The very first match is between Hanzo versus Gon. However, like most fights on Hunter, it is extremely one-sided. Gon is beaten, however Gon doesn't surrender. His hard-headedness is prevalent, and won't accept any other route than one that is already in his head. When Hanzo breaks his arm, Gon gets up and kicks Hanzo. It's not a fight, it's who's willing to give up first. It's not a battle of strength, it's more of a battle of mental capacity. That's why Naruto chose this odd way to conduct this exam. Gon, when threatened with cutting his legs off, he still remains unmoved. He doesn't want to injure it, and he still doesn't want to give up. The situation has not changed or gotten any stronger, but Gon has the upper hand. Gon is winning with sheer determination alone. Gon did not even have to beat Hanzo. He could have beat the next person in the bracket. His pursuit of his father, if he gives up now, he might never see him. He doesn't like to give up. He feels it's inadequate. He has to live up to the expectation of his father. Hanzo surrenders and Gon takes the victory. Gon gets knocked unconscious. Gon wakes up, and to his surprise, he passed the exam. Nearly a day had passed, and we get a flashback to what had occurred. Killua asked Hanzo why he didn't make Gon surrender without killing him. He knew there was a way he could do it with his skills. Hanzo said there was no gleam of hate in Gon's eyes. Even after torturing him, Kurapika and Hisoka start their match, but Hisoka whispers something to Kurapika and he voluntarily conceded. The third match, Hanzo versus Paco was easily defeated. The fourth match between Hisoka and Bodoro, the match was extremely one-sided, Hisoka ultimately winning. Killua versus Paco, Killua has no interest in fighting him, so he concedes. Leodio's fight with Bodoro is postponed because he's injured. Killua, in his match with Guitar Rocker, reveals himself as Illumi, Killua's doting brother. He reinforces the idea that he cannot become a hunter because he is a killer. He is a puppet of the family and their successor. Killua feels that there's no free will. However, when asked what he really wanted, he would reply to be friends with Gon. This is the first time he wanted something. It wasn't out on a limb like taking the hunter exam. He drilled the thought of never fighting an enemy you can't beat into his head quite literally, which is the opposite of Gon and how he chose to keep on trying to get the ball while Killua quit. Killua cannot oppose his brother. He is quite literally a puppet. Illumi threatens to kill Gon. Illumi proposes the question, will you fight me or for your friend? He says he can't because he's more worried about whether or not he can defeat him, not his friend. Never fight an enemy you can't beat, he drilled into his head. Killua gives up and then kills Bodoro, thus disqualifying him from getting his hunter license. Gon hears this and is frustrated and decides to confront Illumi. He demanded that he apologize to Killua. He flips Illumi out of his seat. When Gon is erased for someone else's sake, he is the strongest. He is a kid at art asking a heartless killer to apologize. Gon says he will rescue Killua. He declares Killua is his friend and he swears he will get him back. Illumi tells Gon that Killua went home back to Kukuru Mountain. Gon asks Tatsu about the card Kite had left on Whale Island. It turns out it is a certificate for a double star hunter. It belongs to the hunter named Jing. In the year 287, only one person passed the exam, which was Jing. We even learned of his achievements and that he is a mystery, and nothing new is found about him. Then we learned that the real hunter exam is not quite over yet. Next we see the protagonist on the way to rescue Killua. This marks the end of the hunter exam arc. My main takeaway is that the hunter exam represents something bigger. It is a true test of character. The point is not to weed out the good or bad, it is to represent for the people who want their dream the most. The hunter is always in pursuit, but you should always enjoy the journey you have on your pursuit. Every person's motivations are not necessarily the same. Some people like the challenge, while others like the success the challenge gives. Hunters are constantly after something, even if it's something they don't care about, something they can't see in front of them. We see characters' goals to learn that of the unknown. We see people constantly searching for a goal. We see people chained down by their goal. The very first hunter we see in the story is in pursuit of Jing. The hunter exam is a collection of people who have these dreams that can't be reached by normal means. Even characters in other arcs are fueled by natural desire. They are also people who found goals on their journey. Even my greatest takeaway from Hunter x Hunter is what Jing says. I'm in the middle of enjoying my journey, but if that path of your future journey intersects with me, then enjoy getting sidetracked a lot. Far more than the things you want, the things that are precious to you are sure to have stumbled there along the way. That's all I have to say. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on socials. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.